Well, last year was incredibly special. Red Bull, to only 5 or 6 years old, came out of the ashes of Jaguar. And obviously when we all joined, we joined with the hope and aspiration of winning races and championships. To achieve that last year was an amazing feeling. To defend it this year and show that last year wasn't a fluke or a one-year flash in the pan is every bit as special.
It's just phenomenal. I mean, last year was truly special to do it for the first time and in the manner that we did at the last race with Sebastian. And inevitably the expectation grows, and to have started the season so well and carried that momentum from winning in Melbourne, through the season, and to have, for Sebastian to have truly dominated the Drivers' Championship in the manner that he has, and for the team to have wrapped up the Constructors' Championship so early in the year is just testimony to all the effort and hard work that every member of the team's put in this year.
I think the circumstances were slightly different. Last year we made a lot of mistakes through the year. We had some unreliability problems, 1 or 2 driver mistakes, and we chucked away a lot of points. So it was a very difficult year where we had a quick car but didn't seem to be able to make that count at times. And the result was that certainly the drivers went right down to the wire, and we really went into the last race on the back foot, Fernando looking very strong. So to actually come away with the Drivers' Championship in Abu Dhabi last year was an amazing feeling, that we'd come as the underdogs and done it at the last moment. This year we've came out of the box strongly in Melbourne. We've led the championship throughout. Been nip at tuck at times. We haven't always had the fastest car, but we've managed to keep our nose ahead. And so to demonstrate that we could do that has been satisfaction, I think. Last year was sort of wow, amazing. This year has been real satisfaction that we've just managed to keep it there. I think everybody's just elated. We kind of knew for a while that we were in a good spot. We had a good championship lead for some time now, but there's always that sort of chance that it could fall apart. You can't afford to be complacent, and everybody has realised and reacted to that. So the factories kept pushing on performance parts, kept pushing on keeping the cars reliable. We've had a 100% finishing record apart from Mark's accident at Monza. And that really is a tribute to the dedication of everybody here. And I think to keep that going and to win in such style in Korea was really satisfying. There's a chance that, as far as the constructors goes, we could end up counting points all the way to the end of the year. And so to actually go out and win from the front in Korea and seal it in such a stylish manner was a really satisfying. It was a great feeling.
It's great just to walk around the factory and to see the expression in people's faces, the joy that it's created. I mean, the atmosphere within the team has been, over the last 4 or 5 years, been phenomenal, and it's that atmosphere, it's that determination that exists within the team that's enabled us to field 2 such competitive cars week in, week out, and the sense of pride and satisfaction that you could feel walking around the factory on Monday when I got back was just superb.
I think if I had to say a single standout, in many ways it would be Monza, because that's not been a happy hunting ground for us the last few years. We've been off the pace. We went into that race fearing that it would be a damage limitation race, that we wouldn't really be competitive. So to qualify on pole there and for Sebastian to disappear in the race was a great surprise, and I think it's those surprises that always become most memorable.
Oh, crikey. Monza was very special. To win in Monza, which is a track that hasn't been our strongest in previous years. To win the first race, the opening race in Melbourne as well. So there's been so many. There's been, to win again in Monaco, to win for the first time in Spa and achieve a 1-2 there. after the problems we had in Istanbul last year, to go back and get a 1-2 this year in the manner that we did as well. So it's hard to name one.
I think the key thing is that now we can just go out and enjoy each race and see how the results will be as they are, but we haven't got that constant background pressure of trying to keep of thinking of the championship all the time. We can just go out and enjoy it, and if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. It's not as key as the championship pressure mounting up over the last few races. So I think looking forward to them purely on a sense of enjoyment. In terms of India as a Grand Prix, then always good to go to a new circuit, to a new continent. I've not been to India before, so I'm very much looking forward to that, and on a personal note, taking a few days off afterwards with the family to tour around for a bit. As a circuit, we've run it on the simulator, and the drivers have found it quite challenging and enjoyable. Lots of undulations and elevation, which always makes a circuit good for spectating, I think. So yes, looking forward to getting out there.
Well, India is going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be a really good circuit from what we've seen. It's going to be fascinating to go to India. Yeah, I mean, the last 3 races for us are like FA Cup finals. It's it's all or nothing, and our priority is to get Mark up into second in the Drivers' Championship. It'd be great to see him win a race, this year before the year's out, and we're just going to be going for it every race now between now and Brazil, and of course whatever we learn in the remaining races only stands us in good stead for next year.
Our focus now internally is purely on next year, so development bespoke to this year's car has now stopped. If we find parts in the research for next year that can be fitted to this year's car, we may or may not do so, depending on whether it's a part that could, if you like, be easily copied and therefore give a potential advantage for next year away. It's just getting on with it now. As I say, it's a matter of enjoying the rest of the season, but getting our heads down and concentrating on next year.